Before you scroll, breathe for a second and really listen. This is not just another message passing through your feed. This might be the one line your heart needed to hear today. Some people enter your life and leave a mark. Some bring comfort, some bring chaos. But every now and then, one person arrives and changes the air around your whole world. You feel them before you understand them. You question them before you can explain them. And no matter how hard you try to act normal, something in you knows this connection is not light, not casual, not easy to replace. So stay with me, because the next few minutes may hit deeper than you expect. If this person has been on your mind, if their silence feels loud, if their presence shakes something awake in you, then this is for you. And I want you to hear this clearly. This person may not be your comfort zone. They may not be your fantasy. They may not be your escape. They may be your mission. Not your obsession, not your weakness, your mission. And there is a big difference. One will drain you, the other will develop you. One makes you lose yourself, the other forces you to finally meet yourself. So do not click away, because by the end of this, you may see this connection in a completely new way. You did not cross paths with this person by pure accident. You did not land in this bond for no reason, and you did not feel this level of depth just because your mind was bored and your heart wanted drama. No, some connections arrive with timing so sharp, so strange, so undeniable that even your logic cannot fully dismiss them. You try to explain it away. You call it chemistry. You call it attachment. You call it bad timing. Yet deep down, something keeps whispering that the story is bigger than the label. That is because some people do not come into your life to entertain you. They come to wake you up. They come to pull hidden pain to the surface. They come to challenge the version of you that has been living half asleep. And that is why this feels intense. That is why it feels heavy. That is why it keeps returning to your thoughts even when you try to move on. If it was shallow, it would have faded already. If it meant nothing, it would not keep touching the deepest part of you. Listen closely here, because this matters. Not every strong connection is meant to become forever, but every powerful connection is meant to change something. Sometimes the purpose is to build a life together. Sometimes the purpose is to build a stronger you. Either way, the connection is not empty. It is doing work in your soul. Some people come into your life to teach one quick lesson and go. Some come to test your patience. Some come to break old patterns so you can stop living the same pain on repeat. But this person, this one, may have come to transform you. That is why the connection can feel beautiful one day and confusing the next. That is why your mind says one thing while your spirit says another. A mission is rarely neat. It does not always come wrapped in certainty. It comes wrapped in pressure, timing, emotion, and truth you cannot avoid forever. Maybe this person touches your insecurities. Maybe they challenge your pride. Maybe they force you to face your fear of being left, ignored, misunderstood, or not chosen. And maybe that is exactly why they matter. Because what if they are not only a person you care about? What if they are also a mirror? What if their presence is revealing the parts of you that still need healing? Stay with this thought, because many people walk away too early, not because the connection had no value, but because it demanded honesty they were not ready to give. It asked them to stop hiding. It asked them to stop performing. It asked them to stop pretending they were unaffected. And that kind of truth can feel terrifying when you have spent years surviving behind emotional walls. Do not confuse deep discomfort with a sign that everything is wrong. Growth can hurt. Healing can hurt. Loving in an honest way can hurt, especially if you are used to guarding yourself, staying cool, staying distant, staying in control. Opening your heart is not always soft. Sometimes it feels like standing in bright light after living too long in the dark. It exposes everything. It shows your triggers. It shows your fears. It shows where you still run, where you still shut down, where you still expect people to leave before they even get the chance to stay. And yes, sometimes the easiest move is to step back, block the person, act numb, and call it peace. But not every exit is wisdom. Sometimes leaving is just fear dressed up as self-protection. That is why you have to be honest with yourself. Are you walking away because this bond is unhealthy, disrespectful, and damaging your peace? Or are you walking away because it asks you to be vulnerable, patient, and emotionally real? Those are not the same thing. Read that again in your heart. Those are not the same thing. One saves you. The other delays your growth. And if you leave every connection that touches your deeper wounds, you may keep protecting the same pain instead of finally healing it. There is an invisible thread in certain bonds, something that goes beyond logic and beyond surface attraction. You try to move away, and somehow the lesson keeps circling back. You say you are done, yet your heart remains unfinished. You create distance, yet the inner knowing does not fully leave. That does not always mean you are meant to chase. It does not mean you are meant to lose your dignity. It does not mean you should ignore red flags or abandon your boundaries. It means you should pay attention. Because if something keeps returning to your spirit, there may be truth there that still needs to be understood. Missions require awareness. They require maturity. They require you to slow down and ask better questions. Not, why is this happening to me, but what is this trying to teach me? Not, how do I make this person stay? But, who am I becoming through this? That shift changes everything. Because the real power in a connection is not just whether it lasts. The real power is whether it wakes up your courage, your clarity, your emotional strength, and your ability to love without abandoning yourself. If this person makes you want to be better, speak better, listen better, and heal what you usually hide, then something meaningful is happening here. That is not random. That is not small. That is a call to rise. But hear this clearly, because this part matters just as much as the passion. Your mission is not to fix someone who refuses to grow. Your mission is not to carry a bond alone while the other person gives confusion, disrespect, and empty words. Your mission is not to keep shrinking yourself, just to keep the connection alive. Love is not meant to erase you. Real purpose does not ask you to betray your self-respect. So yes, stay open. Yes, stay brave. Yes, stay willing to communicate with honesty. But do not confuse suffering with loyalty. Do not call disrespect a spiritual lesson. Do not name emotional neglect as destiny. A real mission may challenge you, but it will not continuously destroy your peace for no reason. A meaningful connection may stretch you, but it will also invite growth, truth, and mutual effort. That means you must learn the difference between challenge and chaos, between patience and self-betrayal, between holding space and holding on to pain that has already shown you what it is. If this person is aligned with your path, there will be moments of difficulty, yes, but there will also be movement, accountability, honesty, and signs of emotional life. If there is only draining, only confusion, only excuses, only pain without repair, then your lesson may be about boundaries more than staying. That is still sacred. That is still growth. Sometimes the mission is to stay and build. Sometimes the mission is to stand still long enough for both hearts to mature. Sometimes the mission is to love with wisdom while time reveals whether the bond can become something solid. And sometimes the mission is not forever, but it is still powerful. Sometimes a person enters your life to awaken your voice, your standards, your emotional depth, and your courage to stop settling for half love. That does not make the connection a failure. That makes it important. We need to stop thinking every meaningful bond must end in perfect romance to have value. Some connections are assignments, some are turning points, some are the bridge between the old version of you and the one you are becoming now. So before you judge the entire story too early, give yourself space to understand what it is shaping inside you. Are you learning to speak up? Are you learning to stop begging for crumbs? Are you learning how to stay calm in hard conversations? Are you learning that love without honesty cannot breathe? These lessons matter, and the person who brings them into focus matters too, even if the final form of the relationship is still unclear. Don't rush to label it. Don't rush to kill it. Let truth reveal itself through time, action, and consistency. If this connection still has life in it, then fight the right way. Not with anger, not with ego, not with silence games, mixed signals, or manipulative tests. Fight with truth. Speak clearly. Say what you feel without turning it into a weapon. Listen without building your defense while the other person is still talking. Ask real questions. Give real answers. Be direct. Be calm. Be strong enough to stay present even when the conversation feels uncomfortable. This is where many people fail. They want deep love, but they communicate from fear. They want connection, but they punish honesty. They want understanding, but they refuse to truly listen. Missions demand more than emotion. They demand maturity. They ask you to show up as the kind of person who can handle the very thing they keep asking life to send them. So, if you believe this bond deserves a chance, then bring your higher self into it. Not the wounded child, not the reactive ego, not the version of you that runs at the first hard moment. Bring the version of you that can stay grounded, speak with respect, and choose truth over drama. That is how real change begins. That is how deep bonds either grow stronger or reveal that they cannot continue. And yes, there will be moments when you feel tired. There will be moments when the heart feels stretched thin, when waiting feels heavy, when the unknown feels louder than your faith. In those moments, do not make permanent choices from temporary emotion. Step back. Breathe. Be still enough to tell the difference between intuition and reaction. Wisdom usually feels steady, even when it is firm. Fear usually feels urgent, hot, and restless. Wisdom says, "This is enough. I see clearly now." Fear says, "Run now, end it now, escape before you feel more." Learn that difference. It can save you from leaving too early or staying too long. And while you are learning it, remember this: your feelings are not weakness. Caring deeply is not weakness. Wanting clarity is not weakness. Wanting real connection is not weakness. The world often rewards distance, coolness, and emotional avoidance, but those things do not always build strong love. Your depth is not the problem. Your heart is not the problem. The real question is whether your depth is being guided by wisdom. When your heart and your self-respect walk together, you become powerful. Then you are no longer loving from desperation. You are loving from wholeness. And that changes the energy of everything. Maybe this person came into your life because you are strong enough to handle a love that asks more from you. Not more sacrifice, more truth, more growth, more presence, more emotional responsibility. Not everyone can face themselves through another human being. Not everyone can sit with the mirror when it reflects both beauty and pain. But if you are here, if this message is landing, then maybe you were not meant for shallow connections that only keep you entertained. Maybe you were meant for something that builds depth inside you. Something that makes you slower, wiser, clearer. Something that teaches you how to love without losing your center. Think about how many times this connection has already pushed you to reflect, how many nights it made you question your patterns, how many moments it asked you to choose between pride and honesty, between fear and growth, between avoidance and truth. That is not small. That is inner work happening in real time. And inner work is rarely glamorous. It is messy. It is emotional. It is quiet. It takes patience. But if you do not run from it, it can completely change the quality of your life and the quality of every relationship that comes after this one. Whether this person stays for a season or a lifetime, here is where you need to be very honest. Are you attached to who this person really is, or are you attached to your hope of who they could become? That question can break illusions fast, because missions are sacred, but fantasy can be dangerous. You must see clearly. You must look at actions, not only energy. You must look at effort, not only words. You must look at consistency, not only potential. A strong connection means something, yes, but connection alone is not enough to build a healthy bond. There must also be respect. There must also be care. There must also be a willingness to meet each other in truth. If that is present, then do not give up too quickly just because the road is hard. But if that is missing again and again, then the mission may be teaching you to stop abandoning yourself for the idea of love. That is a lesson many people learn too late. So take your time, observe. Do not rush because your emotions are loud. Let life reveal the deeper answer through behavior. What gets repeated gets revealed. What stays unclear without effort may already be your answer. And still, even then, you do not need bitterness. You can leave with grace when you know you have shown up with honesty and dignity. That is what it means to complete a lesson with integrity. If this person truly belongs in your path, no real obstacle will permanently erase what is meant to grow. Time may test it. Distance may stretch it. Fear may challenge it. But what is real will keep asking both people to rise. Not chase. Rise. There is a difference. Chasing comes from panic. Rising comes from purpose. Chasing says, "Please choose me so I can feel worthy." Rising says, "I will meet this with courage, truth, and self-respect." That energy is powerful. That energy changes the script. So do not lower yourself trying to force what should unfold with mutual awareness. Show up fully, yes. Love bravely, yes. But stay anchored, stay clear, stay honest with what your spirit and your eyes are both showing you. And remember this retention line because it matters. The right lesson will refine you, not erase you. The right bond may humble you, but it will not ask you to disappear. The right connection may expose your shadow, but it will also call forward your strength. That is how you know you are dealing with something deeper than simple desire. It does not just make you feel. It makes you grow. It makes you confront what you have postponed. It makes you choose who you want to be when love is no longer just a dream, but a real test of character. So before you close the door, ask yourself one more time, is this peace guiding me, or is this pain trying to escape? Is this clarity, or is this defense? Am I leaving because I have truly learned what I needed to learn, or because the lesson is finally touching the exact wound I tried to avoid? Be brave enough to answer that without lying to yourself, because many stories end too soon, not from lack of love, but from lack of courage. And many painful stories drag on too long, not from destiny, but from fear of letting go. Your power is in knowing the difference. Your power is in slowing down enough to hear the truth under the noise. Sometimes the answer will be to stay and do the work. Sometimes the answer will be to release with love and walk forward stronger. Either way, your job is not to act from panic. Your job is to act from awareness. That is how you protect your heart without closing it. That is how you honor a deep bond without worshipping it. That is how you love like an adult, not like a wound searching for rescue. And if this message is speaking directly to your situation, then do not ignore that. Sit with it. Let it work on you. Some truths do not need to shout. They just need you to finally stop running long enough to hear them. This kind of connection can teach you emotional discipline in ways easier relationships never could. It can show you where you speak too late, where you assume too much, where you test instead of trust, where you withdraw instead of being honest. It can reveal how quickly fear tries to take control of your choices. It can show you how often you want reassurance without giving vulnerability, closeness without openness, peace without truth. These are hard lessons, but they are powerful ones, because once you learn them here, you carry that wisdom into every area of your life. You become better at handling conflict, better at reading energy without ignoring facts, better at setting standards without becoming cold, better at opening your heart while still protecting your peace. That is real growth. That is the kind of growth that changes your future. And maybe that is part of why this person feels so important. Maybe they did not just arrive to be loved by you. Maybe they arrived to teach you how to love in a stronger, cleaner, more conscious way. And if they are doing their own work too, then the bond can become something beautiful with time. But even if the road turns another way, the growth remains. Nothing honest is wasted. Nothing real is wasted. What transforms you was never a waste. Remember that when doubt tries to tell you the whole story meant nothing. There may be moments when you want a sign, one final proof, one clear answer that tells you exactly what to do. But sometimes the sign is not outside of you. Sometimes the sign is how this connection keeps pressing on the places that still need truth. Sometimes the sign is how your heart keeps asking for growth instead of just comfort. Sometimes the sign is the quiet voice inside you saying, handle this differently, speak more clearly, love more wisely, stop repeating the old pattern. That is a sign. It may not come with fireworks, but it comes with depth. So pay attention to the way you are being invited to evolve. Pay attention to where this bond is asking for courage instead of control. Pay attention to the difference between forcing and allowing, between begging and building, between fantasy and grounded effort. If you can learn that, you will stop seeing love as a game of fear and start seeing it as a space for truth. And truth changes everything. It softens what is real. It ends what is false. It reveals what can grow and what cannot. That is why you must move with awareness now. Not with speed, not with panic. Awareness. Let your next step be clean. Let it come from a centered place. That is where your answer becomes trustworthy. And if you do choose to stay, then stay with intention. Stay with boundaries. Stay with open eyes. Stay while honoring your own worth. Stay because there is life, effort, and honesty in the connection, not just because you are scared to let go. Stay because both hearts are learning, not because one heart is carrying everything. Stay because the bond is moving, even slowly, toward truth. There is no shame in patience when there is real growth. There is no weakness in giving something time when both people are trying to become better. But patience without direction becomes suffering. That is why your standards still matter. Your voice still matters. Your needs still matter.